Hello Sagittarius, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your September 2022 mid-monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what major arcana needs to come out for the sign of Sagittarius? What's going on for you? What I'm kind of feeling is like, just go for it. Like, it doesn't matter if it's stupid at this point. Like, I was just legitimately, a few days ago, I was watching that video, and period A, period and then today I'm seeing like people are doing like, compilations with it, and they're actually doing something with it. And so I'm like, it just proves right there. It just proves that if it's really garbage, someone can actually try to turn around and make it better. So what I'm kind of feeling for you is to go after something, just do it. All right? Just, it doesn't really matter at this point. So what's going on? We have the Fool. Yeah. The Fool. Right. So what I'm kind of seeing with this is that this is a brand new beginning. It's a blank slate. Like, you do something and there's only, one way to go, up. And that's what the Fool energy represents, is that it's a brand new beginning for you. You can't really mess it up because it's foolish energy. I mean, I guess you could mess it up in a way that you could start off on like a bad foot right here. However, if you put in a lot of effort and a lot of time into something, it doesn't matter if it's like you think it's bad. If it actually has a well thought out meaning to it, if it has a well plan and you executed the plan and you tried all these different things into it, I don't really think you can mess it up. I think it could just be a brand new beginning. People can see potential within the Fool. And that's what you have to understand, is that the Fool is a combination of all 4 pages, right? And it is the strongest card in the deck because it doesn't have a number to it. And 0 is the most powerful ideology that there is. From nothing comes everything, right? From, if you look at creationism, like let there be light, versus the concept of evolution, the Big Bang, from nothing comes something, right? And so what I'm seeing right here is that it's not even a really bad situation. It is the most powerful situation. It's just very young. It's new to a situation. It's new to life, all right? So I don't really think that it can be a foolish, bad thing. It's not like period A, period or like I'm an island boy. I feel like it's, well thought out, well executed. It has meaning. It has a purpose behind it. You just kind of think it's stupid because maybe you're too critical on yourself. So let's look at this. What do we need to know about this Fool energy? So I'm going to be using the Revelations Tarot. This deck does have reversals in it. There's a motorcycle going off in the background. Wow. Going fast. Well, it sounds like they're going fast. I don't know. And get you one more shuffle in. So we have the 4 of Swords in reversed. We have the Judgment upright. And we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. So what I'm seeing with this 4 of Swords in reverse, this is you finally getting up and deciding to do something right here. You're no longer going to be chained to your past. You're no longer going to be in a situation where you just feel stuck. With this Judgment energy, this is a call to a new life right here, call to action. With this 8 of Wands in reverse, you do feel stuck. You're like, I don't see any situation to move forward. I don't see how to move forward. So what I'm seeing for you is that you have this brand new opportunity, this brand new beginning within your life. You could have a brand new idea, brand new concept, brand new thing. You could write music, write a play, write whatever, right? And you want to move forward with it. You're like, all right, it's out of the editing process. It's done with all these things. I have the Judgment right here. I want to move forward, but I don't know how. How does one move forward? You feel stuck. But here's the thing about the Judgment energy. Judgment is a grand divine thing versus the 8 of Wands, which is a personal thing, all right? So one cannot escape judgment. One can escape the 8 of Wands because the 8 of Wands is sent out by a person. However, judgment is called by an angel. So what you're failing to see right here is that you can't figure it out, but the angels can. Divine judgment can figure this out for you. The Fool is connected to all of the major arcanas and all of the minor arcanas, all right? It is everything and nothing at the same time. So what I'm seeing right here is that you're putting too much thought and effort into how am I going to do it? How am I going to make this work out? What am I going to have to do? And in reality, you're waiting on the judgment call from the angel to have a grand divine opening for you, okay? What you have to understand is that you cannot put any more of your own human self into this. You're waiting on the divine energy to make a way and make a path. So what is this 4 of Swords in reverse? What do we need to know about this? We have the 9 of Cups, and we have the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, you have wish completion right here. You have wish fulfillment, but you still feel stuck by the 5 of Pentacles of like, I don't know what to do. But here's the thing about the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is represented by 5 pentacles. A pentacle is an upright pentagram, right? It's shaped like that, and it has a circle around it. What's important to understand about the pentagram is that it's actually a very holy object. It's surrounded by light, light being at the top and the 4 elements on the sides, right? A triangle, the concept of, say, the Pythagorean theorem or the cult of Pythagoras, is that they worship the triangle as it being a holy object. And the triangle is a holy object because it does represent the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, right? Now, a pentagram has 5 triangles on it, but each one of the triangles intersects at a pentagon. So go and look at a pentagram, and then you will see in the center of it, there is the pentagon, that 5-side shape. Now, the star or the pentagram is an eternal loop process. And so the center of the pentagram, the pentagon, is the concept of the golden ratio, infinity. So you're looking at a very holy situation, a very holy object. The Five of Pentacles is connected to the Hierophant, which is also number 5, which is representation of the Pope. So the person at the highest order of Catholicism, right? What you have to understand right here is you're waiting on a wish to come in. And a wish doesn't happen on, a basic human standard. It comes in through a divine reckoning, okay, with that judgment energy. Think of it like the Fairly Odd Parents. They had magic. They were fairies. They were fae. They were like angelic beings. What did they do? They were supposed to guide someone. What you are waiting on right here is the judgment call on how to do something. You're going around in circles in your head like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to do. But like, you don't have the money with the Five of Pentacles. But here's the thing. There's going to be a way made for you. All right. With this Five of Pentacles energy, what you have to understand is that these 2 beggars could turn around and go into the church. The beggars in the card, they're walking past the church. They're walking past the stained glass. They're walking past the 5 of Pentacles. But what they have to understand is that a pentacle is a holy object, and 5 of Pentacles is a holy object because there are 5 pentacles. And as we talked about, that's what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I don't know, it's late at night. Yeah. So 25 sides, right? Which breaks down to lucky number 7. So when we look at the 9 of Cups right here, this is wish fulfillment. But you can't see the wish fulfillment because you're too focused on being stuck outside like the beggar. But you're still waiting on this judgment energy to break through. Sorry, I'm like having like a lot of, I don't know, I'm getting my words mixed up. Thoughts are not coming in clearly. With this judgment energy, let's take a look at it. We have the 6 of Cups and we have the Fool energy. You're waiting on someone to help you with this. But that's what you have to understand, is that you have the Fool coming out with the Fool up here. You're waiting on judgment to happen. You're waiting on judgment to hand you the situation. Judgment's already handing you the situation, okay? Judgment is going to hand you off the cup. It's going to hand you off this 9 of Cups right here and this cup. Judgment is not going to just let you go by the wayside. They're still looking out for you. You have the Fool saying that judgment is here and it's still looking out for you to have this brand new beginning for yourself to guide this situation properly. Let's look at the 8 of Wands. You have the Hermit, you have the 7 of Pentacles, and the Tower. What you're not paying attention to right here is you're waiting for divine alignment. What you need to do is you need to continue to work and grow this situation, okay? Maybe the reason things have not worked out for you yet, maybe the reason you haven't gotten that call back, maybe the reason you haven't just gotten what you want from this situation is because there is still something that needs to be grown. And that could be that lightning strike with that Tower. The reason that the situation is not working out for you right here is because you're not coming to the realization that something needs to be grown. And once you have that realization with the Tower moment, you're like, oh, I see why this is not working out for me. There's something not complete within this cycle. What is not complete within the cycle? You have the 7 of Cups. There's a fantasy element, an anxiety element with the 9 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. So I kind of feel like there's unfinished business. That's what the situation is. And like whatever you're doing right here, there's still unfinished business. You're still working on something. You're trying to complete a situation. But what you need to understand right here is you need to have a solid foundation. I kind of feel like you're floating around in the mystery realm right here. You're paying attention to all of these other cups. There's 7 cups in this card right here. And you're paying attention to 6 of the cups and they're floating around. But what you need to focus on is the angelic message behind it. Once you focus on the angelic message behind it, the 9 of Swords kind of dissipates from the situation. Because now you have the clear message. Okay, so what I'm feeling right here is that you have a really good word. it's foolish right now. It's brand new, right? Kind of like, you know, island boy or period A, right? But you have something that has solid foundation to it, has something that can stand the test of time. The reason things are not working out for you right now is that there is still something incomplete within this work. Whatever you're doing, there's something that you still have to learn in this situation. You're still growing in this situation. You're still building on something. You're at the 7 of Pentacles, but you have to get to the 10 of Pentacles, okay? Now, what you have to understand is that there is a tower here that's going to cause blinding illumination for you, and that's kind of what the Hermit is showing you. The Hermit is showing you focus on the divine. Do not focus on all of these other elements right here, okay? Focus on the main thesis. What are you trying to get out of this situation? It could be at a job. You could be like, I hate all these people. I hate all this, whatever. I hate these customers. But what's your main goal at the job? To make money, okay? Doesn't matter about your personal feelings. It matters how much money you make, all right? Matters that you're getting tips. You're getting your paycheck on time. You're getting, you know, the hours that you need. That's what you're focused on. You're not focused on making friends at work. Don't make friends at work and don't fuck your friends at work, okay? What you need to focus on right here is what is your goal within this situation? What are you trying to attain? What is your message that you're trying to get across? Maybe your message isn't as clear as it should be, okay? So continue to work on this right here. It's not going to skip you by. In fact, Judgment is calling this situation that you need to focus on the divine a little bit more. You need to like connect to something. How can Sagittarius connect to this? You have the Page of Wands, you have the Four of Cups, and you have the Justice card. There's a small key element right here that you're not wanting to put into something. Maybe you feel as though it's like not really relevant. There's something here that doesn't feel relevant to you, but it's very relevant. It gives balance to this situation. There's something that you're seeing here that is not like a big deal to you, but I feel like to whatever you're doing right here, it is actually a huge deal. You have to understand something about this page energy. The page energy, it's like a critical idea. But with the Four of Cups, you're turning it down. It's basically the Angel of Temperance is coming out and handing you this cup, and you're looking at it and you're saying, well, I have it in one of these 3 cups. It's not that big of a deal. But the angel is like, no, take this cup. I'm not going to help you move forward until you take what's in this cup, because it is truly the balance to your situation. It doesn't seem like a big deal to you, but to whatever this is that you're doing, it's critical. It's another page. The Star. It links. You have to put pages in something. You have to put a small idea, a very small idea about blending 2 elements together, possibly. The Three of Wands. A message is going to come in for you. Maybe that's what you need to understand, is that maybe you're looking for a situation to come to fruition. You've sent out your message and now you're waiting for the message to come back. There needs to be something in here. 4 of Pentacles, but you're holding on to it. You're holding on to what you have right now. You're not wanting to add or take away from anything. What's the best option for you? How can you do this? Because I know that, you know, it's easier said than done, so let's break it down. What should Sagittarius do within this situation? It seems like you're missing something. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is, okay? You're adding pages to something. You're adding this young idea. It seems very small and minor, but it helps you wrap up everything. It gives it the balance. It gives it that, you know, that French word. Piece de, I don't know how to say it, but the Emperor. Okay. The Three of Cups. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay. You need to focus on having direct authority over something. You need to focus on being the direct author, the authority, this is what I want to say, okay? Okay, I see what's going on. You're coming off as like it's full energy, it's just whatever, I don't really care, all right? That's what this is. It's kind of like you've written something. Say you've written a book, or say you're making a movie, or saying, you know, you're doing an indie film, you're making your first album, whatever. And you're just like, yeah, it's fun, it's fine, it's whatever. I don't really care about it. But they want you, the angels, judgment, whatever, want you to become the emperor of this idea. Blend this energy together to deliver something. You have to blend multiple elements into something right here. And it's saying that it's blended with the pages. So fire and water energy. You have to blend these two things together. Okay. The Three of Pentacles, and then that's when people can look at it. That's when things start to move forward for you. That's when people take it seriously, because right now it doesn't seem like it has a direction. Yeah, the Two of Cups. The situation opens up once you have the direction put in. Once you have the final conclusion, the final thought, yeah, the final conclusion, that wraps it up. Okay? You have to... All right. You have a very small idea, and you're not really taking it seriously. It's coming from foolish energy. You know how I said that the Fool is like a blend of all four of the pages? Maybe you were able to put in like the Page of Swords, and maybe you were able to put in the Page of Cups, but you didn't put in the Page of Wands. You didn't put in the Page of Pentacles or whatever, or the Page of Cups. Maybe you have the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Swords in there, but you don't have the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands in there. Maybe that's what the situation is. Maybe you're not paying attention to something. There's something small, but you don't care about it because it's like, it's not that big of a deal. But if you do it, it becomes much better. It shows the angels that you're taking charge of something. You're showing authority. But why do you have to show authority? Because, like, here's the thing. People get famous over stupid shit all the time. Like, why are you wanting to show authority? Maybe you're just taking it as a joke. Like, and that's okay. Like, and I'm not judging you on this. Because here's the thing. There's some things in life where they don't have to be too serious. They can just be fun. They can be funny. They can be jokester, whatever. Why can this not be fun for Sagittarius? Why does it have to be such a, like, a heavy burden for you? Because I kind of feel like you wrote it initially, or you're doing it initially as a joke. And now all of a sudden it's become like, you know, this very serious situation that you're like, I don't really care about it that much. Like, I don't really pay attention to it. So let's look at it. You have the Tower here. I kind of feel like you're all of a sudden going to understand something. You have Judgment. Double clarification of Judgment coming out. Okay. So Judgment hitting the Tower, calling you to a new situation. You have the Four of Knives waking you up to something. And that's what's important to understand, is that there are people who are asleep to something. And you're having to cause some sort of judgment, some sort of shakeup to wake people up. So let's look at this Hermit. You're illuminating something. So here's the thing. I have double clarification of the illumination with the Hermit. Double clarification of the Four of Knives. Double clarification of Judgment. You're bringing judgment to a situation. And it's funny because you have the Hermit over this deck. You have Judgment as one of your first major arcanas you pulled. So the situation behind this is that you're taking it as a joke. The universe is not taking it as a joke. It's kind of like, you know, someone could write a really comedic movie, say like Ted, and maybe you initially wrote a movie that's supposed to be funny like Ted, and then all of a sudden the universe is like, you know what would be funny if Ted was the Da Vinci Code? And you're like, excuse me? How? And they're like, figure it out. And you're like, but I don't want to figure out, how do you make Ted the Da Vinci Code, right? That's what the universe is trying to tell you right here. This judgment to wake you up wakes up other people to something. Because of your illumination, because of your way to awaken people, that's what's important right here, Sagittarius. Yeah, the Emperor coming out with the World again. Wow, so you're supposed to be waking people up, all right? But there is something inside of your work that maybe you're doing it as a joke that's all of a sudden supposed to be profound, okay? That I can't make it any more basic for you, but you're doing something profound. And you might not want to do something profound. Like, at the end of the day, not everything needs to be profound, but this does. For some reason. You have to blend in the pages. There's something about the pages that are, like, they don't make sense. The Hierophant, the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Scepters, or Ace of Scepters. So when we talk about the Hierophant, it's the Pope. You know, that Da Vinci Code with the Eight of Grails, walking away from a foundation to go and find a new beginning somewhere else. You're walking away from an emotional foundation to find something new. That's what this is. The Prince of Skulls with the star. Yeah. You have to put something together as one full thing, as one constellation. It's kind of like you were maybe wanting to write a book, and then all of a sudden the universe is like, you know what, you need to write 3 books, but it would be better if you put all 3 of those books into one book. Don't try to make it 3 books. You have to make it one. And you might be sitting there like, well, why should I make it 3 books? Why can't I make it, it's like, think of it like this. You have 3 different ideas, right? And the universe is saying combine them into one. And you're like, I don't want to do that. The universe is saying, well, it's not going to move forward unless you do. Yeah, 9 of Scepters. You're going to be stuck. 2 of Pentacles. You have to balance it out. The Ace of Cups. Yeah, that's the only way to... that's what I was talking about earlier. You have the Page of Cups with the Ace of Cups, and you have the Page of Wands with the Ace of Wands right here. You have to blend out something right here. You have to blend the situation together for some reason. So, anyway, let's look at your, which is familiar oracle cards. I'm sorry, Sagittarius. I know, and that's the thing about Sage, is it's like you really just want to have a good time. You're not here to, like, when you're younger, you're here to have fun. You're here to party. You're here to be, just a person. I'm a fire sign too. So, like, I'm a Leo. I understand it. And all of a sudden, the universe is just like, you know what? You need to be the sage. You need to be the sage. The person who is the doctor, is the physician, is the healer, is the prophesier, is all these different things, kind of like the Fool, wrapped up into one, because that's who Chiron was just this sage, prophet, medicine man, centaur, sharpshooter, whatever. You have community B, and you have dragon emergence. I feel like your community is waiting for something to emerge right here. It's also important to understand that the bee is also a very Masonic symbol, the beehive. It kind of represents, people working with one another and sharing their ideas within a web. So, within a beehive in a contained situation. So I kind of feel like you're bouncing all of these ideas around with these different people, but it's contained within the small things, and it's waiting for it to just swarm the situation. It's waiting to burst out. And that's kind of what I'm seeing for you. So let's look at your rune cards right here. Maybe other people are talking about it. Let's look at that. Are other people talking about this? You have the 5 of Knives. Yeah, some people like it, some people don't. You have the 3 of Scepters. People are going to give you critical review on it. The Prince of Knives. They're going to give you pretty harsh judgment. All right? Whatever this is. And that's the thing. That's the whole problem, Sagittarius. I feel like you don't actually want to receive like this great accolades. You don't want people to give you this harsh criticism. You don't want people to do X, Y, and Z. But in order to wake people up to a situation, which is the universe is calling you to do, they're not asking you to make them happy. They're asking you to wake them up from a situation. That's what you have to understand, Sagittarius. When you wake people up, they're not going to like it. All right? Look. So when I was in the military, you had to wake people up for fire watch. And, shine the light in their face and wake them up. They get so fucking mad, they would throw things, they'd cuss you out, they would scream. Like, that's kind of what this situation is. You're waking people up to this situation, all right? And they're not fucking happy. And that's the thing, is I feel like you just wanted to do something fun, happy, weird, out there, whatever. And then all of a sudden, all these communities are working together inside their secret organizations. They're talking about it. They're wanting it to be done properly. They're wanting it this way and that way and done X, Y, and Z. And you're just like, I don't fucking care. I just want it out. So, you have Isa, ice, obstacles, standstill, caution, and patience. Spiritual meaning, inner calm, surrender, and introspection. Exactly. Yeah. The obstacles, the standstill, the caution, and the patience are all critical. And you're just like, why? Let's get you one more. You have water. Journey across water, intuition, fluidity, creativity, movement, and progress. Spiritual meaning is premonition, unconscious desire, and the unknown. So, when you put this out there, people are going to have critical reviews because they're going to think it's too sharp, they're too harsh, it's waking them up. It's like, but yeah, Burkana, encourage ideas, aid creative endeavors, nurture a project, and help with family. That's the thing. You still have to nurture it. You have to aid in creative endeavors. You have to nurture it, help with your family, and whatever. Ask your family for help with this. If you feel stuck, if you feel like you don't want to do this anymore, if you feel like you're just kind of like done with the situation, ask for help from the universe. Ask for help with your family. I kind of feel like the universe wants you to take charge and do it yourself, but I kind of feel like at the same time, if the universe is choosing you to put something out there, then the universe is going to help you. But they want you to do the work yourself. But when you feel like you're just done with it, you don't care anymore, the universe is going to help you. Maybe that's where that writer's block is with that Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is like, he's watching the plants grow, right? And he's watching a plant grow. It's kind of like watching paint peel off of a wall. You ever watch paint peel? Watch a plant grow. It's boring. And then all of a sudden, boom, it, you know, the bloom comes up out of the ground and it opens up. That's the situation for you. You finally get clarity. You finally see something emerge. Oh, with that emergence, with the dragon, you have lighten your load and closure. You're going to lighten your load once you do this. Once you wrap it up, it's going to be amazing. But here's the thing, people aren't going to like it. Lord of Scepters, the Nine of Pentacles. But it makes you a king, though. That's the thing. Here's the thing. They don't have to like it if you get wealthy off of it, Sagittarius. People don't fucking like period A, period R, or the Island Boys either. All right? But here's the thing. Unlike that, you're waking people up to something. It's just the problem here is that you have to work a lot harder than them. Because at the end of the day, you're going to build something kind of like, you know, think of like the books Jane Eyre, or think of like the Shakespearean collection or whatever. People don't fucking like those things. I didn't like reading Jane Eyre. I talk shit about that book all the time. You've heard me talk about it on this channel. Heard me talk shit about Shakespeare and all these other things. That's that Five of Swords energy. But at the end of the day, they're extremely famous people who wrote those books. They were wealthy then. If they were still alive, they'd be multi-millionaires, probably billionaires right now. And that's what the situation is. They don't have to fucking like it as long as you're getting something out of it. So, anyway, let's look at your Awaken Oracle cards. So, it's better to just put in all the work, tie up the loose ends, do what you gotta do, put it out there, because, alright, let's look. We gotta go with the flow. And we got light heart. So take it with the light heart and just go with the flow. Don't put too much, stock into this situation. Let me get these cards out right here. Hold on. I want to shuffle and get you another card, actually. Let me get you one more. Take it with a light heart and go with the flow. Like, here's the thing. To wrap this situation up, what I'm saying for you is not to take it too seriously. Take it the way you wrote the initial thing, right? Or take the situation as when you entered in. For example, if you started a new job as like a retail sales associate, and you didn't take it with, like super serious initiation, I wouldn't say to continue to be serious about it. Don't put like in all your effort and all your time and energy. You should take it, go with the flow, understand why you're there, master the situation with the Emperor, understand what you're learning with the Page of Wands and the Page of Fire, okay? Take it with a light heart. You're still learning something right here. This is not you being the teacher. This is you learning a situation. Earth magic along with ceremony. You're learning how to perform earth magic and perform a ceremony. You're understanding how to build something from scratch right here. You're understanding how to, it's kind of like, that movie Totoro. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that movie. There's a scene where this magical beast is trying to teach them how to grow a tree, and all of a sudden he teaches them how to grow like a gigantic forest. And that's what the situation is you're trying to just grow a fucking berry bush or like, a cucumber plant. And all of a sudden the universe is like, what would be better is if you grew like a 10,000-year oak tree. And you're like, but I really don't want to do that. And that's the situation for you. Now, obviously you do have free will. However, I kind of feel like wherever you are within the situation, if you were to put it out there right now, what would happen if you did that? Two of Grails, the Lord of Skulls. You would connect to the Lord of Skulls, but you wouldn't connect to all 4 or 5 of those major arcanas. Like, you would have some sort of, like, wealth maintained here, but you wouldn't have all those major arcanas. You have the Temperance coming out. The Temperance is saying to do it at the right time. To alchemize the situation between water and fire, because that's what the Temperance is. She alchemizes water into fire, especially in this deck right here. She has 2 cups, so think of like the Page of Cups. She's alchemizing it and turning it into fire. How does one do that? That's what the Temperance does. She does it at the right time, though. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for you, is you're doing it at the right time. Now let me get you a couple of Witches Familiars. Sorry if you can hear my stomach growling. I know. I have to eat something. I've been working, busy. Ugh. And it's like, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning. We have spider community and web weaving, cauldron, synergy, and healing. So what you need to do is you need to take some time back, heal yourself, community and web weaving, maybe talk about it to people who are in your web, figure out what you need to do, figure out, like, maybe you need to ask for help. Is there someone to help, Sagittarius? There is the Prince of Scepters who can move very quickly with the Seven of Grails, who can teach you how to move into this, fantasy, like pull the one cup out. Maybe there's someone with more experience who can teach you how to manifest that one cup. So I also kind of feel like you just have to do it yourself in a way. But if there are people who have more experience than you, ask them for help. So anyway, Sagittarius, I hope you enjoyed this message, and I'll talk to you later.